and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Lads Entertainment Network proudly brings to you the best LENcast podcast in the world with Benno from Corner Flag Games.
Hey guys, how you all doing?
Josh from Crossbar Capers.
G'day guys, how are you?
Terrence from WirelessVLOGS.
G'day, boys.
And your host for this episode, myself, Dan, off of Garfield V2. In today's episode, we have a special guest, a past World Cup goer, having been at the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. Please give a warm welcome to Lachie!
Way.
How are you going?
And of course, if you're all down with that, we got a few words for you. Follow the official LEN Twitter at Lads Network and join the Corner Flag Games Discord for all things LEN and for individual content links. And I fucked that up. Bastard.
I'm leaving that in.
Oh, you can't. Okay.
You've done very well.
I got right to the end and then my fucking punctuation, because I don't know how to fucking write shit. No, actually, no, to be fair, I missed a word. So if we're not cutting this, I'm going to carry on from where we were.
Good idea.
And join the Corner Flag Games Discord for all things LEN. For all individual content, the links will be in the description below and on screen. Now let's get ready to podcast! Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of the LENcast. Today's topics, we'll be discussing the World Cup to the most part because it has started. We shall also be doing a quick catch-up because some cunt, that would be me, wasn't here last week. I hope you didn't miss me too much. So, everybody, how are you all doing today? We'll start with Ben. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. And I swear that is going to be one of the best openings to a podcast I think I have ever heard in my life.
Apart from the fuck up.
So yeah, apart from the fuck up, but apart from work and everything, yes, the World Cup has started, and I have been watching myself. Look forward to discussing it tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Josh, how have you been for the last week since I last spoke to you?
Yeah, mate, not too bad. It's been a pretty tough week for myself, but we soldier on, as we like to say here in Oz. So, no, mate, absolutely fantastic. Worked all week, come home, and I get to listen to an absolutely amazing fucking intro. Fuck me dead. You know what? You know where I thought I was? I thought I was fucking at Muhammad Ali versus fucking Joe Frazier and fucking WrestleMania fucking 30. It was a split between the two. Unbelievable, mate.
Very DX themed. I was just listening. I was watching some old fucking Attitude Era shit, and DX came on with the Road Dogg, Jesse James. I was like, I need to fucking use that.
Fuck yeah.
Anyway, that by the by, Terrence, my good friend, you little cunt. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. Thank you. Haven't been up to too much. It's been much like the big poof up in Sydney there. It's been a pretty hard week for myself, but I've soldiered on, and here we are listening to the great man doing his fine work, leading this ship tonight.
Come again?
Thank you very much. No. That was just the way I moved on the bed. Lachie, our special guest, welcome to the LENcast. How are you, my friend?
Very well, thanks for having me. Yeah,
anytime we like our guests. We'll be sure to treat you the same as we treat ourselves, so prepare your butts for that.
Look forward to it. Used to Josh and Benny.
Fantastic.
Gear up for the banter, mate.
Oh, the banter will get real, hopefully, because I'm in a fucking amazing mood.
We've got Josh and I, so wait.
We're all good with that. Hover. Yes, so me, well, I wasn't here last week. My parents did own a pub, and they got evicted from there because finances and fucking all that shit that goes on with the country is bollocks. I'm sure it's the same over for you guys in Australia as well. Economy's on its fucking arse. So I was helping them move out, and then I got a new lodger for 6 weeks for my sister moving in with us. So that's why I was available last week. But on the plus side, that bitch cunt tooth that I had, if you'll all remember, no, probably not on the podcast. I don't think I've done it on the LENcast.
No, you haven't.
All the lads are
No, it's
aware.
before
Yeah,
the
yeah. I've on and off tooth problems. Well, in this last week, I had to fuck her out. I was like, no, get rid of it. Just done. So I'm also in a good mood because I've got no more bloody pains. It's fucking fantastic.
About time you had that tooth
And then, of
removed.
course,
It's
the
been
World Cup
going on for
started.
months.
Fucking hell, it has. Yeah, that's what stuttered my YouTube stuff. I just got so far through and I just couldn't talk. I had a whole 2 weeks where I just could barely talk. I'm sure the missus loved it. It wasn't so good for being the strict dad that I am. Put that cookie down in my hand. So shall we get into some World Cups things? Because this is basically just going to be very heavy World Cup. Now, I think the best way around this is we're going to go through predictions first because we should have done this last week, but we'll do it now, even though the World Cup started. We'll go around everyone, including Lachie at the end, and then we might all have some questions for Lachie about his attendance at the 2014 World Cup because I bet it was fucking amazing. So we'll go around the table. Let's imagine we're sat on a table, okay? We're not the opposite sides of the world. And Benno, your predictions, please, for this year's World Cup.
Okay, so initially I did have, I've got strong hopes behind Belgium. Me and you have had an argument about this already, Dan. They've just got a strong squad. It would be interesting to see them play and actually take something out of it. But after watching, I did have France as my dark horse, but after we're recording this straight after they're playing against Australia, obviously. After watching them play against Australia, I don't think they're my dark horse anymore.
No, they certainly didn't look too convincing. Although, slow starters, I think they have been slow starters for pretty much last 3 World Cups.
So I think I might change my dark horse to a not so dark horse, which is Spain.
Fair call, that, Spain. Did you all watch the Spain-Portugal match?
Hell yes, I got up.
That's probably been the best game of this World Cup so far, even though we're only 3 days in.
Yeah. No, I did get up at 4 a.m. our time to watch it.
You never catch me doing that, apart from when it was the 2010 World Cup in Korea, Japan.
So yeah, that's me done, mate.
You're saying Belgium and Spain, so that's what you reckon. Let's get Josh's thoughts on his predictions for this year's World Cup.
Yeah, much like Ben, to be honest. I thought France, as I believe everybody probably would have. Again, money talks, and they've got a fuckload of it on their team at the moment. So they were definitely up there. But again, after today's performance, I seriously don't think they could get. I don't think they've got the. I don't know what you call it. It's they've got the skill and so forth, but I just don't think they're going to be up to the likes of your Brazils and Spain's and Portugal's, and look, England can even be a possible dark horse this season, this World Cup. So, my prediction, as I said, I'm half Portuguese. It's got to be Portugal. I'm banking on them. Hopefully, sorry, Ronaldo. It's not Portugal anymore. Clearly, Ronaldo. Three magnificent goals. And as everyone likes to say, he carries them on his back. Well, fuck yous. I don't care if he does or not, as long as he's fucking there at the end of the World Cup. I don't give a shit.
I'd just like to interject here that I saw a fantastic meme today, and it was Ronaldo has got an injury and will miss the rest of the World Cup. It's a shoulder injury because he's carrying the entire weight of Portugal on his shoulders now.
Love it.
Allow me to also add. You say you saw a funny meme on the BBC. We've got Gary Lineker over here who's doing the BBC coverage and stuff, and he said that the day before, so he said, and look out for tomorrow's match or tonight's match. Yeah, it was tonight's match. So it was yesterday. Sorry, I will get my facts right. So yesterday, the lunchtime kickoff, which was Egypt Uruguay. He said, "We'll see you all later for the game later. Spain versus Ronaldo." That's what he said. I was like, "That's brilliant."
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry. Yeah, sorry for interrupting, Josh.
No, you're right, mate. As I said, I hope you can all. Yeah, No, I'd love to see Portugal there. I think, again, European champions proves that it can be done. Again, so. And personally, I think my dark horse is England. I really think that if those guys get their fucking shit together for a World Cup, it could be their year. So let's see. Friggin' again, it all depends on obviously who gets who in the friggin' semi-finals. It's going to be the big question to obviously who makes it. But yeah, Portugal, England.
Portugal, England. I like it. I do like that. Terence, my friend, I hope you haven't fallen asleep again.
No, I'm still here.
What's your predictions for this World Cup, mate?
See, now Benny mentioned this nation just a minute ago, and they are probably wouldn't be everyone's first pick, but I'm actually going to go with Belgium. Just the squad they've got, the ability they're going in with. It's not so much no pressure, but they're going in not expected to win, and I think that's going to do really well. You got your likes of France, who we all just watched, who showed that as soon as you put any pressure on them, just bore it out a little bit. They get frustrated. They do shit things. They make silly tackles. Passes go everywhere. If you just put them under a bit of pressure, they really do crumble. And France would have probably been my dark horse before watching tonight's game. You've got your Spains and your Brazils and your Portugals who are probably always going to be thereabouts. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if Belgium could go all the way this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, I will touch on Belgium myself in a bit of a moment, but your dark horse as well for this World Cup.
My dark horse, as much as I hate to say it, is going to be the same as Josh's, mainly because of what happened 4 years ago and in that glorious exit. But I'm expecting big things from them this time around.
Fair enough. Let's hope so. Before I move on to Lachie, I will just quickly jump in with mine and touch on a few points. With the Belgium, I think this is their golden generation, and I think a lot of teams have had that. So where you say they're not expected to, I think a lot of the Belgians do expect it because this is like the best team they've had and all that jazz. England's golden generation was your likes of Lampard, Gerrard, bloody Rooney, Owen. And they didn't do anything. So I sort of think that's going to happen to Belgium as well. I think my pick for the World Cup winners, even though we've all watched the game today and we've seen how poor they are, is France still. Because I just think once they kick in that gear, I think they're going to once they click, once they gel, I think we're going to see a different team from them. And dark horses are exactly the same as Josh and T. England. It could be biased, but there's just something about this year that it doesn't seem so media focused, and that's normally what can cripple teams at a World Cup. So, yeah, I think France and England for me, for definite. So yeah, and Lachie, our special guest. Before we get into your 2014 adventures, what would you or who do you think are going to be the victors of the 2018 World Cup?
I really think probably France does have a good team. On paper, 100% a very good team, but I think Brazil, with their quality, I reckon they can go all the way. If Neymar can produce some goods along with Coutinho and all those, they've got some quality across the park. But yeah, my pick is definitely Brazil to take it out, followed probably by France. That would be my second choice. But I really think Brazil can definitely do some damage in this competition. Yeah, for sure.
Well, let's hope so, because we yet to see how they're going to react after the last World Cup outing, which was, of course, that infamous 7-1 loss to Germany. So hopefully they can put that behind them and maybe do something. But I just got a feeling it's a European team's year this year.
I do agree, yeah.
I'd like to see it. Now we've got our predictions out of the way. If you agree with us or disagree with us, I know we've missed out some big names. We've missed out like the Germans. We've missed out the Argentinians. But if you disagree with us, drop us a comment below, hit us up on Twitter, and let us know what you think. And we will move on to our next segment. Let's ask Lachie about his adventures in Brazil 4 years ago. What was it like being at a World Cup? Did you were you there for the duration?
Yeah, it was amazing. I flew. It was nearly 30 hours to get there. I travelled from obviously Sydney to like stopped over in LA. It was probably about 6 hours of the first time. The return flight was about 12, so I got a bit done. But getting to the World Cup was fantastic. Like I went with the Fanatics, and that was headed by Vinny Grella, Stan Lazaridis, and Mark Bosnich. And you couldn't ask for a better, like their stories they tell. Like Mark Bosnich opened up big time about like his Manchester United days and all the stuff he got up to. Like that was it was pretty full on what he was.
Did he bring cocaine with him?
Yeah.
No, but he didn't bring a bit of that, yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't have enough for 1,500 people, but I'm sure he had some in his bag somewhere.
I was about to say, I'm sure Bozza could have got enough for 15,000 people.
He was the first one I got a photo with. Like I was like, that was my target. I'm like, I'll never forget that moment. He's a down to earth guy. Like he's very, he knows his stuff, and he's obviously played at one of the highest levels you can play. And yeah, but he's probably a very nice bloke off the air. I reckon he can be a bit arrogant at times, but he does have a purpose, I think, to a lot of things he does say. So, but yeah, like I got to actually, they told us to take some boots, or I didn't really particularly take boots because I didn't have much to like space as it was. So I took my indoor shoes. So that was another pair of walking shoes if I really needed to. So we versed a third string Brazilian side, and it was like probably comparison to like a reserve grade side or over 35s around this area, but just they're obviously really good though, because any Brazilians over there is just amazing skills. But what they did was we played against a whole side, and then you just get each position was named like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like goalkeeper was number 1, so on, so on. I went to the left mid. I like playing up there, so I was number 8 in line. I got to the 40th minute in the game. There was a corner that defensive corner. Everyone was marked up, so I came in on the as a substitute. They just yell out every 5 minutes. They say everyone. They just yelled number, and then that coincides with your position, etc., etc. And I was basically I come in for a corner kick defensively. Everyone marked up, so I held the space. I was just see that I'll never forget this moment. It came all the way over every single person over the penalty spot. It's coming straight down from my chest. I pull it down, turn away, and Stan Lazaridis is straight out, wide open, calling for the ball. And that was my first ever pass there. And,
that name was a throwback as well.
Hey, Lachie, how about the special interview you got, mate?
Yeah.
Before we go too much further, Stan Lazaridis, just putting it out there, Birmingham legend.
Oh, fuck off.
Fucking Birmingham.
It's always about Birmingham.
It always is. Oh, let's not forget he played for Perth Glory too.
But yeah, so
Anyway, let's continue. Yeah.
Go on, Lachie.
Yeah, well,
story.
straight after that, it was like you had people playing. Like Vinny Grella actually didn't play that game because he said he was injured or didn't want to play really, I think. But they put Bozza up top at striker. But the keeper was, I think, taking the piss. But it was pretty funny. Like he scored a pen just stretched, like I think it was like just before half time. And and then Stan Lazaridis is playing in his normal position out wide on the left. But yeah, so Daniel Garb, who's actually over there now, actually ran into him. I've been helping at the Jets, and I ran into him the other day, and he actually interviewed me, and he remembered me. He goes, "Lachie, he goes, I know that face." I said, "Brazil," and he goes, "Oh, I know now. I know where that's from." And I knew from. He's seen me since, but he asked. He goes, "Oh, you came off the field, didn't you, to play that? Just having a go on the field, didn't you?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "You want to come and have an interview with me?" And I said, "Why not?" Yeah. So he, Garby, with the camera, had the camera there. They've never done an interview in my whole entire life, but the funniest part was like people in Australia were seeing it on Fox Sports and sending it to like people that I knew and going, "Do you know this bloke?" And it's just across the other side of the world. It was funny that getting a mug on TV and but once in a lifetime kind of thing, because then straight after I came on, my stint was finished at halftime, obviously, because it's only 5-minute stints. And Stan Lazaridis goes, "I want to sub, I want to come off." So I ended up chatting to Stan for about probably 20 minutes. And that was a pretty long time just to talk to someone of his caliber and genuinely just talked about anything really, and talked to Vinny Grella. They're just genuine blokes, really nice, not arrogant or anything. And they could have found a way out, but they were more than happy to just have a chat and just enjoy it. So yeah.
So it's always nice to hear when, either retired or close to retiring players are always down for a chat and a laugh.
Yeah, they're amazing blokes. And that's why I paid a lot of money to go on this trip, but it was literally a once in a lifetime trip. They put it together, and you're stress free, and the people heading that tour was just amazing. So.
Damn right. So how many games did you get to see of the World Cup then?
So this is the hardest part. Was I wasn't actually guaranteed when I signed for this tour that you weren't guaranteed to get tickets. You just had to go in a ballot and go hope for the best really. So I just wanted my 3 Australian tickets. That's my main priority. I just wanted to, as long as I got those 3, I was happy. But I didn't unfortunately get to other games, but it's because it was hard being in another country. You do meet some new people, but it was I think it was hard trying to fight. I didn't want to be paying bucket loads of money for a ticket that might not even basically you might not even get in. So I got to all 3 games, which was amazing. And as I said, I got to witness Tim Cahill's cracking goal off the crossbar. I was basically, to picture where I was in line where he hit it, and all I had to do was turn my head just slightly, and that was the vision I got just straight on. I'll never forget. It's basically a TV replay in your head, and I'll never forget that moment. And also David Villa's back heel in one of their goals. That was a pretty special moment, right in line with that. Yeah.
It does sound very once in a lifetime, doesn't it? So does anyone else want to pose a question to Lachie about the World Cup?
So my question to you, Lachie, is: did you manage to get your hands on a second-hand 2010 Vuvuzela and chug a beer through it?
As much as I would have, no. Unfortunately, I didn't. But it would have been, those horns. They're annoying at the best of times. But that was just you could not hear anything.
Follow-up question: did you manage to catch any footage of Trent Sainsbury doing a shoey?
No, I didn't. I wish I did. I saw that footage, and I'm going, I wish I had that on my mobile.
Just to be clear, does everybody know what a shoey is?
Yes. I invented them.
Dan, do you know what a shoey is?
Is that's the beer in the shoe, isn't it?
Correct.
Seems to be everyone's doing them these days.
Anyone else got questions? No one? I'll ask another one.
Here you go, mate.
Okay, I've got another one. So you're in Brazil. Was it as bad? There was reports, sort of, because what you see on the TV, all this nice infrastructure around the stadiums and the sorts, but then literally over a fence was like the slums of Brazil. Was it actually like that?
Yeah, I could see it, but there was. I'm not kidding. There was probably the whole entire army of Brazil. They came in forces. There was 3. I went to get money out, and I was trying to ask. It was some didn't speak English, some spoke a little bit. So I asked 3 really nice, obviously police officers there, and they go in threes. Every 10 meters you see 3 police officers, and it was heavily guarded, really. But you did. I had, funny enough, I had someone tell me before I went, he'd been to Brazil and travelled a lot, and only probably just recently been, maybe 2 months before I was due to leave, and he said, just whatever you do, be vigilant and make sure you know where your surroundings are, because he had someone pull a gun to his window and basically told him to give him everything he had. And so I had that in my mind, and I was first time I actually went to the hotel we met at. I didn't even think I had like 500 Australian dollars in my pocket. Just when I was hungry, I just wanted to get something to eat, and I walked through like probably about 30 people, like groups of them, but didn't even think twice. I went, oh, probably shouldn't have done that. But that's how guarded it was. There was no real safety issues until you got out.
That's nice to hear.
That's absolutely.
Well, you clearly got back in one piece then.
Only just. But no, it was incredible. Yeah.
So
Right,
one last question for Lachie.
Yeah, mate. I've got probably the one question that's mostly on everybody from Wireless Vlogs fan base. Whilst you're over in Brazil, mate, did you catch up with any of Terrence's women, men, or anything like that?
You're very funny, mate. Very funny. Ha 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 ha.
I'll have to say no, I did. But
How were the women though?
well, I can tell you now they can dance, and
Oh yeah, they can.
and they're incredible. I'm not everything about it is just they're all nice, but they're amazing. Like beaches are just incredible, along with the women.
Even the dicks below their tits, fantastic.
I was
Isn't it right,
about to
Terrence?
say, could you tell the women apart from the men?
He knows me too well.
Well, thank you, Lachie, for sharing your stories. They were very interesting, friend. I enjoyed hearing them. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, thank you.
Now, don't go nowhere yet, because there's probably still a lot more banter to come, especially between T and Josh.
Sounds good. I'm used to it.
So shall we move on to just general discussion about the World Cup then?
We shall.
As our last sort of topic for this episode. So wait, we're going to go into another segment. There you go. So, fire away, boys. We'll start with Benno. Your thoughts so far with the World Cup games?
Well, we'll start off from the first one, which was the opening match between Russia and Saudi Arabia. Now, I did only manage to catch half of this one because I did manage to fall asleep on the couch, because since the World Cup started 3 days ago, I've spent 2 nights sleeping on the couch. Watching that game and
slightly as well. Sorry, Ben.
Sorry?
I just need to interject.
Yeah, sure.
Russia versus Saudi Arabia, or also known as the school of the deaf and blind, because they played like shit.
They did. Now, Saudi Arabia, coming from the Asian qualification region and being in the same region as Australia, during our qualification stages when we played Saudi Arabia, we struggled desperately against Saudi Arabia. At that point, the now Socceroos coach was then coaching Saudi Arabia in Bert van Marwijk, and it's sort of... I expected better from... I did expect better from Saudi Arabia. I thought that, it would have been a much more closer affair, something like a 2-1 or a 3-1 to Russia. But waking up the next morning and having a look at the replays and watching France absolutely belt them 5-0 was something I did not expect. Russia, again, have a very... not so much dark horse. I don't think they've got the talent and the skill to be able to go all the way, but surely are now in contention for getting out of their group and doing some real giant killing along the way.
If the confidence levels are up after that performance, definitely. I joke and say that Saudi Arabia were the school of deaf and blind, but they really didn't turn up. But to the credit of Russia, they were pressuring them the whole game. As soon as Saudi Arabia got the ball, there was a man on them.
It showed.
Really,
I mean, the possession stat was heavily favoured towards Saudi Arabia as well. It just shows that in modern football now, you don't need the possession. The counter-attack is just as dangerous nowadays, more so than ever.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, there's one thing I did also want to say just before you go into any other matches. The fucking opening ceremony. Did anyone catch it?
No, I couldn't find it.
Right, you're all really lucky. It was very
Oh.
short and sweet. It was 10 minutes,
Oh, beautiful.
maybe
Oh, wow.
at most. But Robbie Williams he literally sang for 10 minutes. There was a
Beautiful.
few fucking dancers and stuff.
I did see posted last week that it was an announcement somewhere on some website that Robbie Williams was going to sing. So I knew he was going to sing for the opening of the World Cup. I expected maybe one song and then maybe piss off, not 10 minutes of consistent singing.
He was basically the opening ceremony. I'd say there was some dancers and then all I'll say traditional. No, it's more stereotypical sort of Russian clothing and attire, and I don't even think I saw any of that crazy Russian dancing. You know, when they're fucking hey. I mean, you can't see me trying to do it because this is voice only, but you would have laughed if you did see me trying to do it. But that one, it didn't have none of that I could see.
Yeah, well, mate, I wouldn't expect too much more from a Port Vale supporter.
Very true. I've just got a quick question before I know it's your time here, Ben. But on Saudi Arabia, we must clarify. You know,
Be
you must
very
obviously. You've got to really wonder, to be really honest, right? They qualified for the World Cup. They took Australia's qualification for the World Cup, automatic qualification. So how poor were we, obviously, to allow that to happen with them coming to a World Cup and producing that performance?
Oh,
seriously.
In saying that, you put Saudi Arabia on the park against Australia now, instead of, 6-7 months ago when we were playing qualifying rounds against them. We'd have played them off the park if we played like we did tonight.
100%, but it took their coach to produce that, which is just phenomenal. You know what I mean? He's had fucking 3 months. It's amazing.
He's had 3 months, 2 friendly games, and this initial game in the World Cup. But at the same point as well, you look at the coach that we had beforehand in Ange Postecoglou, was experimenting with 3 at the back.
That's exactly right, mate. Yeah, and as good as it was having an Australian coach per se, the experience now helps. We can see that clearly.
Yep.
Now that we're in the World Cup, and
100%.
after that performance against France.
100%.
Anyway,
moving into the other games that really piqued my interest, there really hasn't been another game that piqued my interest aside from Portugal, Spain, and all I've got to say is Nacho's goal for Spain, fucking fantastic.
I want to be your Nacho, man.
Fucking, it was brilliant. The curve on that goal, and it smashed both posts. Absolutely fucking fantastic. Yeah, okay, Ronaldo got his hat-trick in the World Cup. Clap, clap to him. You would expect you would expect a player of that caliber to be able to be putting the screws to teams, but
yeah, you say that.
But like Nacho, it was fucking out of nowhere. It was an absolutely brilliant fucking strike. It cannoned off both fucking uprights. It was an absolutely fantastic goal, and credit where credit is due as well. Jumping on the other foot, Diego Costa for Spain after being frozen out of the Chelsea squad and all that bullshit. Is he going to Atletico? Is he not going to Atletico? Shit like that, and not having consistent playing time. He looked like a man who hadn't been off the park for any more than fucking 10 minutes.
True, but he got wound up with with Portugal having it all their own way in the first half, and that's when you get the best out of Costa, is get him angry.
I was going to say, still a grub.
Oh yeah, grub by all means, but fucking a talented grub.
I have flashbacks to Stamford Bridge 2 seasons ago against Arsenal when he did the most Diego Costa thing he could have ever done and just about fucking bit. I think it actually might have been Monreal's ear off.
Really? That sounds more like... I was about to say, it sounds more like a Suarez move than a Costa move. Costa strikes me more as the Zinedine Zidane type that would just headbutt you in the middle of his chest when you talk about his fucking wife.
Oh, but he's been known to do that many, many times.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, that's my 2 cents. We should move on to somebody else now.
Yeah, Lachie, come on, give us your 2 cents, mate. What are your thoughts on the World Cup so far as a whole?
I think Uruguay was quite poor last night. I stayed up for that, and I kind of wish I didn't. Yeah, credit to Egypt to do that without Salah. Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, to be fair, I feel like Egypt might have been sort of, they can feel very hard done by with that, to be fair. And this was what I was going to say when you said you expect players like Ronaldo to do that to teams. Well, Suarez and Cavani couldn't do jack shit. So they're two, again, world-class players, and they just couldn't do it on the big stage. So for Ronaldo to do it in his first game, I think,
and Cavani just is like a couple of snapshots he had were quite class, but they managed to contain both Suarez and Cavani. Like that's pretty good feat to do. I'm really impressed with how Russia went. Like that's to do 5-0 at home. They stepped up when they needed to. So I was impressed that
they hadn't won a game this whole year.
Exactly. It's like they hustled everyone. It's just kind of sitting back and just making and then they come out and do what they did. Like that's I was impressed. But I really want to see what Brazil can do. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Watching all those guys in their zone, because I reckon I'm impressed with their quality. So yeah.
Well, I definitely know that my eldest will be wanting to watch Brazil this time as well, because they're little. I don't even know if it's legal in schools, but they did a sweepstake in school and she got Brazil.
Lucky.
Yeah, I got fucking Switzerland. So that was fun.
I got Switzerland in one and France in another, so I'm happy. Either way, I've redeemed myself in one of them.
Well, the lads know because I messaged everyone saying because I've done 5 and I've got Switzerland 3 times. You cannot write this. You could not script it
3 times.
Add to that, there was going to be some content on my channel that because of one person we were going to do our own mini World Cup. I think for the most part we're all looking forward to it, but because of one person, I can say it. I won't say his name, but I can say it on this podcast. He will not listen to it if he hasn't got time. But he let us all down, so unfortunately we've sort of had to knock it on the head. But I got fucking Switzerland in that as well.
Sorry, mate. Just to quickly chuck a Ben. Argentina 1-0 up. Aguero cracker. Absolute cracker. What dead set? Someone go watch it. It's a in saying that though, Messi doing fuck all. Fabulous. It's great.
I can't wait to jump onto my Optus Sports app and stream this instantly.
Good segue, T.
Absolutely, mate. I'm watching it on Optus Sports at the moment. Haven't lagged yet, so winning.
Yeah, but wait, T, we've got more important things. You've got to discuss the Morocco-Iran match.
Yeah, no, that happened.
Did you start that one?
Right?
That was literally. I was like, oh, what's the game when I get back from work? Morocco versus Iran. I think I'll go play my PlayStation.
Well, as much as
that was late.
Well, as much as I was surprised at the result, I didn't watch it, or was I able to listen to it? So someone else would probably be better off discussing that one.
Did you have a gaze at that one, Ben?
No, I sort of missed that one.
Do you know what? It was one of it was a. I don't know how to put it. It was a very unexciting match, apart from the 95th minute when there was an own goal that won the match for Iran. So Iran are top of the fucking Group B, and they haven't even scored themselves yet. So, yeah, says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, you take them when you can. It's why not, mate? Why not? Look, they'll do better than Saudi Arabia anyway.
Fucking a team of under 5s can do better than Saudi Arabia.
Oh wow.
Yeah, wow, unbelievable.
Right, so who's going to be the sinking ship of the World Cup?
Ooh, sinking ship of the World Cup. Is this? Well, there's lots of ways you can go about this, Ben. Are we a team that should get out of the group but don't?
No, a team that is bog standard. The
shittest team.
Yeah, the shittest team in the comp.
Saudi Arabia. You can't. There's no coming back from that.
No, that's.
See, I'm hedging my bets on Panama.
Oh, did he fucking score?
Yes.
Yes. Come on, Iceland. Come on.
Oh,
Iceland.
no way.
Come on, Iceland.
Is it 1-1?
I've never seen
As
the
we're
Argentinian
recording,
coach
it's
so
1-1.
upset. Did anyone else see that?
Wow.
No, I'm not
I'm not
watching
even,
it.
I've still
I'm not
got
even
it as
gonna
1-0.
We're,
I'm not even gonna
we're,
pronounce
still
his
we're
name.
still being really professional and doing the LENcast. That's why we're not watching it.
Correct.
Sorry. Sorry.
When is Josh ever
Sorry.
doing what he's supposed to be doing? You know, like writing shit down.
Hey,
And
hey, I have not heard any or There's been more from me than him.
me. To
You want
be
me to
fair.
write shit down?
Yes.
Yeah, S H.
Mate, we're talking World Cup. We're talking World Cup.
I like
Please,
it how you
someone's
had to
gotta
spell
fucking
We're
it.
talking World Cunt, are we?
World Cup.
Hang on, boys. Shouldn't I be taking this? I am the technical analyst, remember, Benny?
You are the
Very
technical
true. Sorry, mate,
analyst.
taking your job. Sorry. I'll just I'll duck up now. Sorry.
Work best when going for the anals.
And my to be back on track, my sinking ship is a dark horse in Senegal.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Well, I don't know. I reckon they'll go all right, to be honest.
Really?
It's a dark horse, but I reckon they'll be shit house.
Yeah, right on. I don't know if they got
Because I'm
any. I
feeling
don't even know if they got in the group.
Who? Senegal. They've got Japan, Colombia, and Poland.
I was going to say, friggin' the analyst.
Group
You want to
H.
get to that one for me?
I've got it up on my screen. I've got it up on my phone at the moment.
Hey, that wasn't a dig. I really.
If you couldn't
remember
hear,
it.
I was actually chewing on some lollies when you said that, so I was trying to finish my mouthful.
just to clear that up, he was chewing on some willies.
Yeah, so that's what I would have.
Yep, short one up. Oh, for Christ's sake.
Sinking shit.
All right, sinking ships. Let's get back onto it.
This could go out of control very. Yeah, let's go. Let's get back into
Yeah,
chat,
right.
boys.
Lachie, what do you got? Who's going to be the sinking ship, Lock?
Oh, that's a tough one. Is it? I reckon. I don't know. It's gonna be. It's someone. I reckon South Korea.
South
Ooh.
Korea, yeah. They do have a rough group, to be fair.
But like, if they can technically, they're quite skillful. But I think, yeah, I reckon if they can get at least a win and a draw, they really could push for it. Like, if they perform pretty poorly, like in the friendlies, like most of these friendlies haven't really counted too much. But when it comes to the World Cup, like you just saw what Australia could do against France, like I think, yeah, they can really push a team to their to their depths in that, I think.
Mm.
Okay, and who do you think will be the worst team in the comp?
Oof. I'd have to say probably definitely Saudi Arabia, but possibly I reckon Nigeria.
Oh,
Depending on, I haven't seen them yet, but
yeah.
it's I would definitely at this stage of the competition, I'd definitely say Saudi Arabia. Like they're very poor against Russia. Like even it should at least stop 5 goals. Like it was, yeah. It shouldn't have got to that point, kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dan, what do you reckon?
Well, I mean, it goes without saying. Honestly, from what we've seen us just already and going forward, I do think Saudi Arabia. But in terms of a team that I think will underachieve this World Cup, I'm going to stick my neck out and say Germany.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
Yeah, to be fair.
I just don't think. Germans are very proficient, and they tend to book the hotel closest to the where the final is going to be around the final time. So because they just that confident that they're going to get there. I don't know. I reckon they'll only get as far as the quarters. I really do. If they get that far, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just something telling me. And maybe it's just because 2 World Wars and 1 World Cup.
All right. I pose another question. I pose another question for us all.
That was pretty funny, though. That was pretty funny.
It was. A surprise package. Somebody who wouldn't normally, or a country that normally, say, wouldn't get out of a group stage, but you think might pull a few tricks.
Australia.
100% Australia.
England?
I have to say, Panama.
Senegal.
All right, so I'll get to a more realistic one. Well, we're not bring it back down to earth a bit. I reckon it's going to be Serbia.
See, Serbia are a good team, though.
I'd expect Serbia to get through the group stage.
They are, but but they're coming up against teams like Switzerland, Brazil, and Costa Rica.
They'll knock out Costa Rica and
Brazil. Sorry, Lachie.
yes.
No,
I've got Switzerland. I've got Switzerland 3 times on a fucking sweepstake. They need them to get out of the group. Okay.
All right, somebody else with a more realistic approach to this.
Yeah, no, seriously, I think I've got a really bad feeling about Mexico.
Really? Good bad
Yeah.
feeling or bad feeling?
No, just bad. I just don't think they're going to get out of the group. I don't know. It's just something about the way they've prepared and come into the World Cup hasn't been fantastic. I think their golden year was 2014, 2010, and I just don't think they're going to cut it. I don't think they're going to get out. Period.
Surprising they qualify considering they were held in the Confederations Cup by friggin' New Zealand.
Yep.
Yeah, correct. As I said,
I know
years have passed them. I think.
I know they're playing right now, and I know Josh is watching it, and we already know the score and everything. But Iceland, I think, can surprise a few.
Yeah, they surprised England, didn't they?
That does not take much, though. To be fair,
No, it doesn't.
basically, England did what France did to Australia today.
Yeah, except we didn't end up with the result.
Well, we didn't have VAR, so.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Oh, don't mention it, please. Don't.
We're too
It works well in the A-League.
That'll have to be another.
Shut up, Terence.
VR works very well in the A-League.
Shut up.
World Cup.
Lockie's gone quiet. What do you reckon, Lachie? Who's your surprise package?
I really think I'm not just being biased because I'm Australian, but I really think Australia could, after tonight's effort, could really get that second spot. I think, and push for a quarterfinal berth at least. But I think there's a few actually. Like as you said, I'm watching the Iceland game now, and I really think Iceland. I actually put a bet on, and just thinking that Argentina are going to absolutely annihilate them, and they have their 70-30% possession, but Iceland, that's not any show on what the game is about. Like I've been watching it, and Iceland have been creating some good chances and holding their own. So I actually really think on a non-biased note, either Australia or Iceland for sure.
Iceland definitely, I think, definitely. I mean, I say Iceland definitely dark horses. To not nowhere near. They haven't got the quality to go on and win it, but they've definitely got the quality to upset a few.
I think they could get out of their group for sure.
Yeah. I don't think they'll have a problem getting out of the group. When you look at where they've been drawn in with groups, I think they might. I mean, Argentina are a relatively shit team. They've got Messi playing for them, so that doesn't help them, does it?
He's been playing very lazy.
Of course, he's a very lazy player.
Yeah.
Just fuck off. Name one thing Messi's done ever in his whole career.
Stole
lose
Ronaldo's Ballon d'Or.
I was about to say lose the Ballon d'Or to Ronaldo.
All he's done is tell Ronaldo how to dodge taxes, and both of them have been fucked for it now.
Oh man, absolute frog. Yeah, well, there's the difference right there. Messi needs Argentina. Messi needs his teammates. Ronaldo doesn't, obviously.
Very clear. But we've already been through that discussion. Let's not go there again, because otherwise we'll be going.
No, we're not. We're not.
Well, we're not.
That's it. I don't even know how long we're going. I think we're about to wrap it. Yeah.
I'm going to say, lads, I think that's a very good podcast. I'm glad to be back. I apologise I missed last week. I'm looking forward to next week already, because there's going to be even more World Cup talk. I apologise to people listening, but maybe you like the World Cup talk, but there's going to be a lot of it over the next month.
Hell yeah.
it's not my turn to host, but I'm hoping I've made food for thought. You've all got to really up your intro.
Thanks for
game
that,
now,
mate. You've
guys.
absolutely fucking shattered, made us all shit ourselves. For that
Yeah,
extra
well,
intro.
It's your
you
turn
continue
next
to
as well,
shit yourself, Josh, because you're next week.
Yep.
You
Oh,
fucked up, man.
I better go find a fucking pen and paper then.
Good. He's going to write something down.
Hey.
Yeah,
It
fucking
is on
questions.
Josh.
Fucking
But
questions.
that is it for episode 4 of the LENcast. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget, everyone, to go and follow the official Len Twitter at Lads Network. All our individual Twitters, or if you are American, Twitters, they will be on screen and in the description. All our channels. We'd also like to extend a massive thank you to our special guest, Lachie. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Been a pleasure.
You're welcome. You're welcome at any time, if Josh allows it. And so from Ben, say goodbye.
Yes, I'm about to say goodbye. Thank you very much for having me on, Dan. It's been a pleasure once again, lads. Thank you very much. I'll see you all next week.
Josh.
Yes, mate. I'm here. Hey, what?
What?
Nah.
God's sake.
Terrence, fuck off. Seriously?
Fuck off,
Or is
Josh.
you still here? Go set your alarm clock. Fuck off. It's bedtime for you, champ.
Fuck off, Josh.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a pleasure
Shut
as always.
up.
Lachie, welcome
Shut up.
back anytime.
Thanks for having us.
To be perfectly honest, mate, you can take Terrence's spot because he's fucking starting to really shit.
Thank you for all your input, guys. And to the little 2-year-old sat there, Terrence.
Yes.
Are you going to say goodbye to the nice watchers and listeners? Can you do that for us?
Bye.
I'll get you have a chocolate biscuit.
So it counts.
Go get your
That
bottle
was-
and go back to bed.
It was great to be back, boys. Thank you for having me once again. Welcome back to yourself, Dan, after your week off. And I'm hoping that next week it's fucking Josh that pisses off.
I can do that, mate.
Well, lads. Well, lads.
Without me, there'd be no show, though.
Great podcast. It's been a great podcast. Thank you, everyone, for taking part. It's good to be back, baby. And from me, until next time, peeps. Toodles!